What is going on, everybody? We are reviewing and summarizing this book in this video, Buy Back Your Time. It definitely looks like I just bought back all of my time, just chilling here, tanning in the sun, don't need to do any work. But that's actually not the point of this book. Just like the 4-hour work week is not actually a book that you have to use to just work 4 hours a week. But I think this book is especially now, because 4-hour work week is not super up to date. I think this book is even better. I would say this is definitely a must read for every single entrepreneur, whether you're a solopreneur or you already have 100 employees or whatever. This is definitely a worthwhile read. One of the best books I've read in, I think, many years now. And this was the kind of just-in-time book, actually, like Tim Ferriss talks about. Funny, I'm just talking about Tim Ferriss for some reason now, but he says, like, read just-in-time information, not just-in-case information. Just-in-case information is you read some book that you cannot even apply, just reading it for entertainment or not even taking any action right now on it. But this was something that I definitely am taking action on already and will take action on. Just finished this book today. Yeah, summarizing it for you, reviewing it, giving you my thoughts. You probably already got the point. You must get this book. Like, why would you not invest? I don't know how much this costs, but anyways, why would you not invest in it? So, summarizing this while tanning a little bit here in Spain in the sun and having allergies, which makes my voice sound a little bit weird, I think. But yeah, so good thing to do, by the way, before we go into the book, summarize the books you read, either in writing or on video. That's why I'm doing these. And if some of you are wondering, like, how can he have such patience to keep doing videos about books for like 5 years and he's not even more than 2,000 subscribers. I don't know how big this channel might be at some point, but even if for nothing else, I'm just doing this to summarize on video the book that I read and I share it with you. So hopefully these help you kind of get an idea of what books are good to read, what maybe not so good, what to invest in, what to buy, maybe getting a few ideas before you even get to the book. Just like a summary. So a few things that I learned from this. Let's start from the beginning. So he talks about in the beginning about like the mistake a lot of entrepreneurs do, which is just working until they basically die or they have health issues or they don't understand anything else than just effort is equals results. More time put into it is equals results, but that only works so far that only works for so long, and then you realize that you have no health, energy, you're not liking your life anymore. Not just that you don't have energy to really work effectively, but also you're kind of giving away the energy to everyone else, that you're not really loving life and you're like hating what you do, tired all the time. And especially if you're in sales or if you're a leader, if you're a business owner, you have employees, that can really show. Like nobody wants to work for someone who is stressed out all the time. Nobody wants to buy from someone who is in this kind of panic, anxious. Let's wait that my dog barks. Nobody wants to buy from someone who is constantly in kind of anxious, panic state. So I realized reading this book, like one of the major things is not just to save time, but to save your energy. Make sure that you're delegating those things that you don't enjoy, that take a lot of time, and that you can also pay someone very little to delegate those to. Obviously, everybody knows this already. Like I knew, you probably already know, like the importance of delegation, but this book really put it in really, like made it really clear how important it is actually. Like it talking about Oprah Winfrey, for example. He's a billionaire, but she doesn't, let's say he or she is a billionaire, but she doesn't even work more than like a couple of hours, I think, in the afternoons, because she has found her one thing. Like Gary Keller in the One Thing book says that if you have that one thing that you're really good at, you don't actually even need to put in that many hours and you're gonna get the rewards from it. For Oprah, it's interviewing people, making interesting interviews. That's her one skill, and she doesn't really need to do much else. A lot of other people, it might be for some salesperson, it might be that they just need to be good at sales. They don't need to know anything else. As a business owner, it might be a little bit more challenging because initially you're wearing all the hats and you have to do everything yourself. So you kind of need to be good in a lot of things. But if you become the jack of all trades, you never become good in any one thing. A lot of people have this problem that they are like the jack of all trades and they have the what is it called shiny object syndrome. Not only do they have to do a lot of things inside their business, but they start other businesses on the side and never are even good in one business. So they have like plumbing business, and then they have whatever, like a solar panel business, and they have a consultancy for finances, or like so totally random things that are not like even relate to each other. So yeah, so that's the main thing, is to keep the main thing the main thing. That's what I read in this book. That's you need to remember that. I'm saying this to myself also. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. That's really hard to kind of comprehend that what that actually even means, because it's just the same thing. Main thing, main thing, main thing. The main thing you have to focus on is to keep the thing that you're really good at the main thing. Don't do other things. Don't take the time and energy away from those things. So for me, personally, in my business, that means marketing and sales, creating content and being on sales calls. And I figured that I can delegate the other things. I can delegate the coaching to coaches. I can delegate a lot of things to my assistant who is taking care of those things. I don't need to be checking my own emails. I don't need to be updating my calendar and trackers and data and everything. I'm passing that to her so that I can focus. In the last months, and that's why I said this was like a just-in-time book for me. I thought, okay, let's increase the profit margins by reducing staff, reducing people in the team, and that was a really bad idea. Although now I'm building it back together, getting better team members, kind of replacing the old team members with, I think, a better person for that position right now. But for a while, for many months, I thought I can just do everything myself, and I thought like, okay, let's just work more hours, let's work longer days, let's work on the weekends. I'm not gonna get tired. I'm gonna just push, because I'm gonna put in the effort, and that way I'm gonna have more profit left because I don't need to pay for someone else to do that job. And you couldn't be more wrong if you do that, just like I did, because eventually the energy, even if you can put in all the hours, it's just gonna exhaust you and it's gonna make you hate your life. And so the key is to do the things that are really high value, that make more money, so that you can focus on those things and then use that money to pay for someone who works for the 12 hours, 12 euros an hour, 15 euros an hour, or even less or something like that. Pay them to do the things that don't pay well, and especially delegate those things to them if you don't really like to do them. So if you don't like numbers and trackers and updating things on trackers, and you don't like accounting and you don't like all of those things, then delegate it to someone else. I don't know if they're gonna enjoy it or not. Maybe they will enjoy it, but nevertheless, they're going to get paid for it. They're looking for a job. You're the entrepreneur, and your energy and your time is even like it's just so much more important than whoever is just working for you. They're gonna get their paycheck no matter what, but you need to protect your energy, your mental state, your time, your life. So protect that time by delegating, and protect the energy too. Like for me, the time thing is not the biggest thing here. The energy thing is. I noticed that I do much more on sales, much better on sales calls if I have less stress, if I have more energy, if I'm feeling good. That's super important in sales, that you're feeling good. Make your life easier so that you can actually show up on those calls feeling good. If you're making content, for me, content is super fun. Like there's almost no content that I don't like to make. I like writing, I like being on camera, I like posting memes. I like doing all kinds of content. I like making Instagram videos, YouTube videos. Like that energizes me. It doesn't really drain me. Maybe sometimes it drains my energy, but most of the time when I make content, I can work on it a lot of hours, and I still don't feel tired. That's the key. You need to find those things. Sales, I think, occasionally it's kind of energizing for me. Sometimes I feel it's maybe not, but I think in general, sales is something I like. So signing up new customers, signing up new business, I like doing that, so I don't need to delegate that. And it's not really the best thing to delegate as a business owner either in the beginning, or like before you have like a lot of leads coming in, a lot of customers. Eventually, if you have so many calls with prospects, potential customers, that you cannot take all of them yourself, then you need a sales rep also. But I'm not at that point. I can handle the leads, the customers coming in myself, and I like doing it, so I'm not willing to delegate that. Plus, it's a huge risk. If you gave all of your sales calls to someone else, they work full time and they don't really take in customers, they don't manage to get any new customers for you, then you're screwed. So I take that responsibility, and content I enjoy doing. So that's basically the two things that I'm doing. But the mistake you might of course make is that you think that, okay, now I delegated everything, now I don't need to do anything. Like I joked in the beginning, like the lifestyle is just not gonna be like that. You're gonna just like take naps and like just read books and not do anything. You have to still replace the time, which she talks about. Like the key is you find a task that you don't like doing, that drains your energy, that you don't really have to do, that you can delegate. You delegate it, you free up time. Now you fill that time with something else that really energizes you, that helps you grow the business. And then one by one you're gonna get notice that, okay, this task I also delegate, maybe this, maybe I like making content but I don't really like editing the videos, so I'm gonna pass the editing to someone. Maybe I like creating content but I don't like posting it and managing social media, responding to comments and stuff. I'm gonna delegate that to someone. So that's the plan for me. I want to delegate. Eventually I want to delegate to the point where the only thing that I have to do is something like this. This is not really even related to my business to make this video, but about this book. But like nobody can start recording a video and transform into me. Nobody can go take pictures as me. I need to be in the pictures, I need to be in the videos. But if you think about it, also other than that, you don't actually really need to do anything else. Like if the content is the thing that I need to be in the content, then okay, then I need to be in the content. But even the sales calls, I wouldn't really have to be on the sales calls. It could be someone else. Eventually I want to really get to the point where I think even the content might be actually my main thing. My main thing might be, I need to probably think about this, like, is the sales my main thing or is the content my main thing? But I want to delegate as much as possible. So eventually the goal is not that you don't work, but the goal is that you work only on things that you like, that energize you, that you're really good at, because that's key to success. And that's what I didn't understand for many months. Is I thought like you're supposed to do what's hard, you're supposed to suffer and just put in a lot of effort, do what others don't want to do. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But the key is actually to find what you're really passionate about, what you really like doing, and what you excel at. All of us have some kind of like natural inclinations for some talents that we have, and some of us like some things. Like I don't like to do accounting, but some people actually like to do accounting. And if you do those things, then it's an edge, it's a competitive edge. If you just try to suffer through it and do what others aren't willing to do, well, those others might actually pass by you because they do what they enjoy and they get better results, and you do what you hate and eventually burn out. So that's the main thing from this book. It's not too quick, not too long read, 240 pages or something. I like these kind of books. In the end, I think he also, just to make it a little bit longer, the book, which is always the problem with books, they make it too long. So he started to talk about stuff that was not as valuable as in the beginning, but the first couple of chapters are really like life-changing stuff. But that was like the main ideas for me. There's other time management tips too. Planning your calendar, blocking the time and everything. That's what I'm already kind of doing. You need to figure out, put it in the calendar, like even like your rest time, your wind down time. Optimize your calendar, and that's something I'm gonna take action on also, is to try to really optimize. Like that's a huge waste of time and potential if you have a calendar where you have like, of course, like for sales, you have to be available. People are not all going to be able to like have calls from 9 to 3. Some people need to have a call in the evening, some in the morning. But as much as possible, try to put like those calls and meetings and everything like back to back. There's no point in having like a 11 a.m. call, then you have like 15 minutes before the next call, then you have one call, then you have 45 minutes, then you have a call, and then you have 30 minutes, and then you have a call, and then you have 15 minutes, then a call, and then 15 minutes. All of those between times are kind of wasted. You can maybe get in a meal or something in between, but it kind of puts you out of the flow. And if you are able to like have the calls like from 2 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. or something like that, and then the whole morning you can focus on like content or something else, then you can just get so much more done. That's one key. And yeah, this book really reminded me that also rest is super important. Rest is part of high performance productivity. You cannot ignore rest. To perform at your best, you need to rest. So rest is strategic. Rest is actually important. No matter how many there are, like these influencers and everyone online, these business gurus who say like just grind and hustle and lock in and never take a day off, never waste your time going on into the movies or something like that. Like it's your brain will just it will get too tired. At times I've really felt like I've just burned out. My health is good, I go to the gym, I eat and everything, but just mentally I just feel burned out sometimes, and this book was just the message that I needed to hear. Remember that it's not just about like burning yourself to the ground. It's also about protecting your health, your biology, your mental state, your energy, having time off also, and not just working but working on the right things, working smarter. Everybody says work smarter, not harder. Nobody really teaches you actually how to do it, and this book teaches it, so I really loved this book. Yeah, eventually you can just like buy back your time, like the book says. You delegate a lot of things, then you can just work on the things that really like, or the dominoes that need to fall, like in the one thing book. Like you work on the main things, you do the things that really you need to do, that you're adding the most value, that are moving the needle forward, and you delegate the rest, and you're gonna make profits, and you're gonna have time for doing a lot of other things in your life. And you don't need to work 12-hour to 14-hour to 16-hour days, because that's just not necessary. If you really look at the time that you spend working, if you really look at most people's days, there's probably 30 minutes, like it says in the book, there's probably just 30 minutes of time every day when you work that you're actually doing something super valuable and important, and the other time is just you're answering emails, you're bouncing back and forth, like checking the emails a little bit, going on a sales call, now posting a piece of content, I'm going to sales call again, now I'm gonna just talk to my staff, message people, message back my staff, and answering questions from my from my staff who should actually know what they're doing already, like just inefficiently using your time. So this was a kind of long video, I think, but anyways, I think that's the main ideas from this book. Thanks for watching, everybody. Would super appreciate if you drop a like, and if you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. See you next time.